If you are an investor and you're listening to this, I would just consider the shared housing, affordable housing, cooperative living as just another tool in your tool belt. And Andy, I'll let you riff on that. It's not like, group homes are not the only thing that you've been doing, correct?
No, they're not. I think that, in my personal opinion, all of these strategies have a time and a place. That's why I was asking you earlier on. I was like, were you doing it for the cash flow or were you doing it to kind of help out with the DSCRs? What was your reasoning? So for me, I know I sound like a broken record. All you guys have heard this before, but if you go back about 20 years, maybe a little bit longer, my primary goal of getting into real estate was to get me out of having a regular full-time W-2 job. That was my end all be all goal. And the number that I had written down, and it took me forever, was $4,000 a month. That's how much money I wanted to make. And so, anyways, finally, I did all these rental properties, and frankly, I mean, it just wasn't getting me where I wanted it to take me. But the minute that I got one of these group homes set up, I'm like, holy shit, I'm making $2,000 extra a month. I would have been making 200. And then I set up another one and I got another 2,000. So for me, that was my primary goal. And so I think that all of these, like Brandon was saying, all of these little tools, they've got a time and a place. I mean, I'm at the point right now, the group homes are a lot more operationally intensive. I don't want to mess with group homes anymore. I don't really, I mean, we still have them, but I got somebody running everything. Even the rental properties, it's almost too much work for me. I would rather just loan money out. So loaning money out is, for me, it's like the easiest thing to do at this point in my life.
And again, I look up to you all. It's like, all right, this is the next step from here. But my thing is where I'm at now. I'm trying to master what we're doing now, and we've just only gotten started in the group home business. So again, the numbers are absolutely insane. And if you all don't mind, I can touch on where we've been going as of late, because we've been moving away from the traditional single families into, going neck deep into group homes. So I can kind of talk about what we got going if you all don't mind. So
Absolutely.
what we're doing now is the type of property that we pick up has changed. We look for a certain hitbox, I guess, where certain areas that are close to major transit, whether it be here in Central Florida, we got the Sunrail, or you got the Lynx bus, somewhere centralized to the highways, because everybody's using Uber. And then we target properties that are at least 1,800 square feet under air. The last few pickups that I've done have been these big, weird properties where folks have just done additions over the years. One
Yeah.
was 2,800, another one was 3,500. I've got another one in Winter Park that's about 4,000 square feet. And at this point, to me, it doesn't matter the current condition of the property. It's just how I can utilize it. So our price point has stepped up quite a bit, especially since we dove into doing group homes. My last three pickups were we did one for 450, one for 500. We did one for 260. And we're able to do that because again, we're doing all the rehab ourselves. And then once we get them operational, I've got one in St. Cloud that's got 11 beds, 11 baths, but they're all cut up into their own private suites. So, again, a little twist on what the 2 bed per room model. We just do all privates. And I've got some vets in there. They got vouchers that cover for 1,400 a month. And then I've got folks that self-pay at 1,200 a month. And I've got a property that's got 11 of those in St. Cloud. And then in Kissimmee, I've got one that's got 5 of those and then a 5 bedroom wing of the house that shares a kitchen. You all do the math there. It's an absolute no brainer. And that's why we kind of dove in, and all of my open projects now on the rehab side are strictly to do group homes now. So
Dude, I love it.
yeah,
Safe to say you're a fan of the business model.
absolutely. It's an absolute no brainer.
Are there any other advantages compared to the traditional buy and hold model?
Well, in addition to cash flow, I'll say you're less worried about vacancy because between the mortgage and utilities, internet, all that we cover, I need to come up with just under 4,000 a month to keep everything in check. And I'm doing somewhere around 12,000, 12 or 13,000. So even if we had one day half of our people get up and leave or just they stop paying, we're covered. So you look at that on one property and then extrapolate that out to, for us, we've got a whole bunch of single family rentals where it's a thought in your mind where that could happen. That's not a concern at all on the ones that have that shared group or a group home model. So in addition to that, so your vacancy is not an issue. And we're able to tap into a demographic or that's being overlooked by current offerings, especially here in Central Florida, where the definition of affordable, what is that, 80% of the gross? That number, most of our folks are nowhere near that. They're hovering around 30, 35K a year. And our models, especially in the privates that we do, are affordable for folks that are making around that income or are on fixed income or are getting vouchers. So we're wide open to all different pools and groups of people that may be getting assisted or may not be getting assisted. So we're mitigating our risk in that you have a traditional single family, one or two parents that are earning income, something happens to one of them, they're calling you or sending you a text message that the rent's going to be late. And then you're relying on them to keep that so you can keep your lenders happy. Those aren't concerns in the group home model. So I think that's
you want to expand on why that's not a worry for you? Just for
um
you know.
yeah, well, because our risk is kind of spread amongst all of our occupants or all of our residents. So the type of properties we've been doing have somewhere around 8 to 10 people. We have some that are in development that'll have more. So again, we just have more people who have more income earning potential. I think that is that we do such a great job on them. A lot of folks are just grateful to be there. They're excited that this option even exists. They don't want to lose it or mess it up. So we're helping them by providing the product, and they're helping us by keeping it full, and then they pay their rent on time, and then we can take that and provide more housing. So I think it's a rather than an adversarial relationship where you have builders out here that are taking out your eyeballs, we're providing something that kind of answers a need. And I think a lot of our residents are grateful that it even exists to where it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So we're trying to help each other.